Firstly, I want to thank TINCO and their provider members for the opportunity to speak to you about something that has virtually changed everything, including the way we live. I'm Dr. Rick Rader. I'm a physician in Chattanooga specializing in intellectual and developmental disabilities. One of the most satisfying parts of my career has been to work with direct support professionals. I support them, teach them, counsel them, and probably most importantly, I learn from them. That role has led me to become the medical advisor to the National Alliance for Direct Support Professionals, known as the NADSP. Let me start off by telling you that I am not a DSP, so you will never hear me say, I know how you feel, or I understand what you're going through, because I don't. No one but another DSP could ever say that. Everything I know about DSPs, I've learned from DSPs. I want to talk to you about the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that's obviously the COVID-19 pandemic. And with that, the COVID vaccine, which we hope will literally be the tranquilizer dart, or at least the cage to control the beast. The COVID virus affects individuals you support many times worse than people without intellectual disabilities. They and you are more vulnerable and therefore at greater risk and greater need to be protected. Let me address some of the most pressing questions that DSPs have asked me regarding the vaccine. The most crucial one of the biggest concerns is the question, can the COVID-19 give you the COVID virus? The answer is the vaccine will not give you the virus. None of the currently approved and used COVID vaccines use the live virus that causes the disease. Instead of using a live virus, the vaccine uses genetic material from the virus that gives our bodies the instructions on how to best control our immune system. These are the cells that kill outside invaders. The vaccine actually gives your body the intelligence needed to prevent the virus from gaining entrance into your cells. There are people who are against any vaccines for any disease, and they spread false information about vaccines. You need and deserve accurate, reliable, and factual information to make your decisions. Vaccines have been proven to be an effective disease fighter for several hundred years. It was a vaccine that led to the eradication of smallpox, once a major disease that killed millions, and many other vaccines have been able to control other outbreaks of killer vaccines and viruses. The Federal Food and Drug Administration, known as the FDA, has completed a thorough evaluation of both the effectiveness and safety of several COVID vaccines. They have been approved and are currently being delivered and administered. The only side effects appear to be short-lived pain at the injection site, which is often expected with any injection, and several cases of allergic reactions from patients with known histories of allergies. The vaccines have a 95% effective margin and will provide preventive protection to you and the individuals you support. In the past, it has taken up to 10 years to research, test, and produce effective and safe vaccines. So how can a new vaccine that has taken less than a year to produce give us the same confidence on safety? That's a great question. The reason for the 10-year time period has to do with regulations, research design, funding, and the slow bureaucratic process. When the government realized the enormous threat that the COVID-19 virus presented, it pulled out all stops and created a program to eliminate all the barriers to be able to produce a quick timeline. They created Operation Warp Speed. The term warp speed comes from the science fiction space series Star Trek, where the spaceships went faster than the speed of light, known as warp speed. A perfect example of how this succeeded is the example of going to get a car registered at the local motor vehicle department. All in all, the registration takes about 5 minutes, but you might have to wait in line for over an hour. The same thing happens, but 1,000 times worse with vaccine research. The FDA was able to eliminate the long waiting lines. They were able to combine several of the steps that were previously required to be done separately and prove the funding to move things along. The clinical tests were still conducted with thousands of animal and human subjects, and no safety issues were overlooked or compromised. It was simply a matter of giving top priority to something that was determined to be of the highest need. I can share with you that my wife, who is also a physician, has been vaccinated. I will be vaccinated in several weeks since I was a COVID positive survivor. I went through the quarantine and have luckily been without symptoms, but I have to wait to test for antibodies. But I have every intention of receiving a vaccine as soon as possible. You are not only essential, you are vital, necessary, and the most significant weapon we have to protect the health of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So keeping you healthy is our paramount importance to the disability community. Having you positive and confident about the vaccine will also help to encourage your individuals to be vaccinated. No one will be forced to be vaccinated. It will be your choice. There are 3 reasons why people are reluctant or hesitant to get vaccinated. Let's look at all 3. First, the medical reasons. If you have a past medical history of having a bad reaction to any vaccine, or if you are highly allergic to the point where you have to carry an EpiPen, you may not be a candidate for this vaccine. If this is the case, you need to talk to your healthcare provider. The second reason is for religious beliefs. Most of the major religions of the world do not have anything against being vaccinated. In fact, they promote the concept of health through medical research. There are a few religious groups that are against vaccinations, as well as being against life-saving blood transfusions. These small religious groups rely on the power of prayer to solve every problem and do not promote the contribution of personal responsibility and personal strength to improve life's critical events. Lastly, there's simply a personal bias that often has nothing to do with logic, reason, knowledge, or experience. Your choice will be honored and respected. That being said, please remember that none of us live alone on an island or in a vacuum. We're all part of social groups, from a family to a group home, to a community, and certainly to a country. And our actions, both positive and negative, impact on others. Your personal decisions may have impact on others, often those closest to you. Lastly, the vaccine is a vital and important tool against this pandemic, but it's not a magic bullet or a protective bubble. Even after being vaccinated, you will still be encouraged and in certain instances required to continue to adhere to strict CDC health guidelines, the same ones you have been diligently following since we found ourselves in this situation. We need to wear masks, keep social distance, disinfect our environments, and conduct ongoing hand washing. The COVID pandemic has been one of the most dangerous and threats to the health and well-being of our society. Your role as a DSP has never been more important, more significant, and more crucial. I hope you will see the wisdom of getting vaccinated and encourage others as well. Do this for the sake of yourselves, your own families, and of course to the individuals you have committed to support. On behalf of my medical colleagues, I want you to appreciate that we understand that DSPs are the link between success and failure in the pursuit of providing the best health care for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So thank you, and my best wishes for your continued health and success.